Gentlemen, my work is incomplete. Despite me providing the invaluable service to humanity of tracking down some random Christian anti-vax movie that no one has ever heard of as the worst movie ever made, things are still pretty bad out there, okay? TV has gotten so bad that people are watching like AI fruit cucking videos now. So I'm trapped in here with nothing but an excessive amount of DVDs and intrusive thoughts to try and find the worst TV episode of all time. But this wasn't going to be as easy as last time, because I'm not going to have any conveniently organized list to guide me, because as far as I know, there's only one site that lets you rate like individual episodes that's used by more than 3 people, and that's the famously watertight and unbiased source of information, IMDb. A site where the average review sounds like they're role-playing a plantation owner from the 40s. So I'm feeling pretty good that we're going to be seeing scores that are like purely about the quality of the show and not at all because of the gender or the skin color of the people in them. Hi, I'm here too, by the way. But they still don't have like a ranked list of episodes to go off of. I mean, I'm sure they do somewhere, but luckily for you, I am too stupid to find it, which is fine. You know, it just means I have to manually look up every single show ever made. So how hard can that be, right? Now, despite my skin tone giving away the 5 collective minutes of sun I get a year, I still can't say I've seen like every show ever made, okay? So I am prepared to be dropped into some of these halfway through with literally no idea what's going on. But I think that might mean it's for the best if I don't talk about the like infamously dogshit finale of Game of Thrones if I haven't seen the like 47 prior hours of television required to properly hate it. Because dude, like we all know that 2.5 Men and How I Met Your Mother and Stranger Things had more of a generational fall off than my hairline will past 25, but I think you're better off hearing that from someone who hasn't exclusively watched the show through like shitty Instagram reels. Something I found out straight away when I was combing through IMDb's extremely tedious layout is that the scores for like your average show are so much higher than you'd think. I should not be seeing a 9 on my screen right now, okay? The number 9 should have a restraining order from The Big Bang Theory. I only started having more luck when I tried shows that have been airing for like 3 times my lifespan, like, you know, The Simpsons. Okay, honestly, I'm kind of impressed that like a show with like 5 trillion episodes only has like a couple really badly rated ones. The worst one is season 23, Lisa Goes Gaga. Oh no, I've heard about this one.
Because it doesn't work for me.
Marge. 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 Marge.
But like, I don't think people realize the genius behind this episode was to get people to stop watching the show before they made it to the significantly more cursed Elon Musk episode.
Hello, I'm Elon Musk. What the?
And you know, considering that you can't show like sex on TV, I'm surprised they allowed them to air like 20 uninterrupted minutes of them sucking him off.
Before you go, is there anything you could do to give a little girl hope that the world of the future won't be as grim as all our current movies forecast?
So I think that's why when people saw American Dad do the same thing, they didn't realize that they were kidding.
Look! Now I cartoon character! Is that really you, billionaire Fenghua? Yes, it's really me!
In an episode where like a Chinese billionaire buys the show and then like constantly interrupts it to do random ad reads, which, you know, I think explains its 4 out of 10 rating, because like who doesn't hate having the shit they're watching interrupted by random unrelated ads, you know? Okay, well, thanks guys, because you skipped the ad, I didn't have enough time to find anything else. So now we have to watch the Logan Paul Law and Order episode.
Go home, gamer girl.
What the hell is your problem?
Okay, so you can probably tell by the way that I'm not like 105 years old that I don't exactly watch a lot of network TV, okay? Like, I've seen a couple episodes of Law and Order before, but I did not know that there was an entire spin-off of it with 27 seasons where it's just about like assault cases. Every single episode of the show is just about like, you know.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Which is probably why they cast Logan Paul, because he's best known for his respect for both the living and the dead.
It was just uploaded to Red Channel.
This is what happens to slut bitches who mess with gamers.
Where is this coming from?
All we know is it's streaming live.
This episode of a real TV show written by actual human beings tackles a topic as serious as the violence experienced by women gamers that I'm sure will be treated with the maturity and emotional weight required and won't just have people say things like this after they've just been assaulted.
What did they do to you? They leveled up.
Bro, you can't fucking say that. Of the 45 minutes of this that wasn't just like Ice-T plowing through a dictionary of gamer acronyms.
These teams practice 8 hours a day. They are not noobs.
Noobs?
Short for newbies. I know. I read on Kotaku that it's better than Civ 5 with the Brave New World expansion pack.
There were 2 of them. They were just the total FALs.
Failures in life.
This episode is about a group of sexist gamer terrorists run by Logan Paul who kidnap the CEO of a game company just before they can launch like their brand new game. That the whole episode builds up as being like this game-changing project that's like worth risking her life over, and then we finally get to see it and it looks like this. But luckily Ice-T is an avid gamer and defeats Logan Paul by spawn camping and emptying his entire clip into him. That is not a bit, that is genuinely what happens.
Oh, you camping back there?
No.
Bad form, but effective.
Okay, great. Off to a good start. Okay, so I tried The Boys, and The Boys is somehow all clear, but I did find an episode in the spin-off series that I didn't even know existed with a 4 out of 10 rating. But I don't know why this one in particular...
Guys, maybe we should just go.
Shut the fuck up, Sky!
Okay, yeah, that checks out.
Well, I don't really like the beach too much. Sand gets in my butthole.
Motherfucker!
When I was looking through any series, there was like a 90% chance that the worst rated one was just going to be like one of those shitty recap or filler episodes. And like, I think having to wait like a week for a show that you're invested in just to have like the plot interrupted so Naruto can fight a robot is a perfectly valid thing to crash out about. I have heard legends of the robot Naruto episode. I mean, I've never seen the show in my life. Like, the only thing I know about it is that he has, like, a fox with 9 tails inside of him, and all of them are gay. But I don't think there's any better mark of quality than your show needing a guide telling you how much of it to not watch.
Naruto Shippuden has 500 episodes. 203 of them are fucking filler, dog!
Like, I don't think I need to have seen the show to figure out why an episode where the cast is fighting a Naruto transformer with lightsabers that ends with him wearing the mecha Naruto like an Iron Man suit to fight a giant Megazord is, you know, probably the equivalent of having someone in Avatar show up with like a Tesla and meta glasses. And sure, having this come out of nowhere and completely derail whatever the hell it is that's going on in this show, I can see why people don't like this, but just watching it completely randomly on its own, that shit was awesome, dude.
I'm not entirely sure what happened here.
Yeah, me too, bro. Something else I found out during my hours of looking shit up is that not only are there 2 seasons of Beast Games, but also that there are people that are watching Beast Games.
I don't know if you're all aware of this, but number 1 is actually pregnant. Yeah. Drop her!
I remember one of the things people complain about with the first season, aside from it being like the first reality show to be edited like a 40-minute long YouTube short, is that like because they had so many contestants, it was kind of hard to like give a shit about what was happening. So now a season and a half later, they do give you an episode to focus on the contestants, and people were not very excited about it. Worst episode of a reality game show in the history of television. Literally nothing happened. We barely care about seeing their families after they were gone for 2 weeks and treating it like they got home from a tour in Afghanistan. And I mean, they're not wrong, but I think the reason why people hate specifically this episode is because they don't even play any games in a show called Beast Games.
Look at... They're gonna actually bury us. Like, actually.
Nick, you're staying with me. Everyone else, go to your coffin.
The only part of this episode where, like, anything happens is when he just, like, buries the entire cast alive. Not even for, like, a challenge or anything. Just because he can.
As a guy who's been buried alive many of times, after a few hours, the terrifying fear starts to subside a smidge.
And the only guy he spares from being buried is just so he can force him to decide how much of the $1 million prize to share with the people suffocating beneath him. And now this guy has to make the insanely difficult choice between taking a free $1 million or sharing it with people he didn't even know existed like 6 episodes ago. Like, oh man, that's such a tough choice, man. Fuck, what am I gonna do? Mr. Beast does follow me on Twitter for some reason though, so I'll see you guys in season 3, I guess. No, you've been putting off doing Riverdale. But like, can you really blame me when that would mean that I'd have to like watch an episode of Riverdale? But I was actually kind of relieved by how high the ratings for the show were. Oh, yep, there it is. I've heard a lot of things about this show, okay? Like, I was ready for devil cults and time travel, but what I was not prepared for was for them to sing.
This small town is pretty much broken beyond all repair. But one thing is working.
So it turns out that both of Riverdale's lowest rated episodes are musicals. I gotta give him credit. This episode does do a very good job of balancing its 2 completely normal stories where Archie and Veronica are having relationship issues while Betty is trying to console her grieving mother that's hallucinating her dead daughter.
It's not real. It's just your guilt or grief.
I am flaming.
And for an episode with like more songs in it than most albums, you think at least like one of them would be good, maybe.
But you can't give up now.
about like comedians in cars getting coffee? I don't care anymore. Oh shit, wait, really? Why does it have like one random episode with like a 4 out of 10? Okay, now I'm gonna get sidetracked because like obviously now I need to know why. And this is a season that has Amy Schumer and Jimmy Fallon in it too, by the way. So I am like kind of terrified as to what this could possibly be.
Hey guys, it's me Miranda, and today I have a special guest because I'm going to teach you guys how to be famous, okay?
Okay, wait, I might have made a mistake. If the title wasn't explanatory enough, this is a show where Jerry Seinfeld kidnaps a random comedian to go on a date with him, which is because he doesn't have a lot of experience with asking people out above the age of 17. Bazinga. But in a show where like I thought the whole point was like getting to know these comedians as the people behind their persona, it was a choice to invite on YouTuber Miranda Sings and then have her stay in character the entire time.
Very happy to have you on the show.
My hair keeps getting in my face from the wind.
Right.
Can you stop the wind?
I don't know if I could really stop the wind.
I don't know much about Miranda Sings aside from the distance that she should be from schools, but all I got out of this episode is that she has like one single joke, and that is just saying words the wrong way.
You haven't even asked me any questions.
Any what?
Questions.
Questions?
You can tell Jerry's having a really good time by the way he spends most of the episode visibly contemplating whether or not to drive into incoming traffic.
I think you're a fun person, yeah.
There goes the creepiness again.
I like that Miranda keeps calling him creepy as if she doesn't know that the two of them put together have like a combined dating range still below 18. See, I only got one joke too. Put me on the show, Jerry.
I had to belch.
Like, yeah, obviously I know Jerry's doing a bit and just playing into it, but like watching this episode, it feels like going to dinner with my parents, you know, like no one is having a good time and I just kind of really want to go home.
I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of each other after this.
No, certainly not.
Or how about Roseanne, a classic 90s sitcom about a working class family and the funny hijinks of their day-to-day lives. So anyway, the plot description for Season 9, Episode 9 reads, Roseanne battles a group of terrorists holding her family and a foreign diplomat hostage on a train to Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, this has a bad rating? All right, I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm starting to run out of ideas, so it might be time to start busting out the real low-hanging fruits. It's time for Velma, baby, a show where the highest rated episode is the one where she falls off a balcony and dies. But I mean, if you think that's the worst it's gonna get, I did make that balding joke earlier for a reason. And just like that, we found our first show to crack below a 2, in what is definitely the first time anyone has been excited to see One Punch Man Season 3. One Punch Man is a show that went from being genuinely like top 3 human achievements to an unwatchable PowerPoint presentation, which, you know, is what happens when you give your crew literally 0 time to make an entire season. Who would have thought? Like, look at the ratings for Season 3. It's like mostly like a 3 point something. It pretty much averages to what every single one of my school report cards looks like. I think the only reason people were even watching this season was just hoping that it was eventually going to get better. Like, they were just saving their budget for the last half of the season, right? Which is why the rating curve for this goes like, aww. But episode 6 sits as the lowest rated of the whole season because I think it was the exact point that everyone like gave up on it. And I don't blame them, between half of this guy's head being cut off, Genos looking like they contracted an artist from the nearest kindergarten, or 95% of the episode being a podcast consisting of a slow pan of someone talking, and then it cuts to a slow pan of someone talking, and then it cuts to a still frame, and then it cuts to a slow pan of someone talking.
I'm not seeing enough movement!
But that still only gets us to like a 1.6, and that's still like 5 degrees that we can go lower, okay? But I think by this point I had already exhausted every show that I could think of and was getting pretty close to crowning our winner before I checked IMDb one last time. And guess what? Turns out there is a list actually, and there has been the whole time. Are you fucking kidding me? The whole time? All I had to do was go to the advanced search and go episodes, sort by ratings, and there we go. Which, you know, would have been nice to know before I watched about 48 minutes of Beast Games, but that's okay. I only have limited time on this earth. And honestly, looking through it, I didn't even do that bad of a job getting most of the stuff on here. It's just the further down you go, the more it just becomes like a competition between One Punch Man's entire 3rd season and angry Top Gear fans to see who can clog up more of the bottom 10. You might even be able to notice the exact moment that they got rid of the host that people liked. Let me know if you can tell. It's kind of subtle. There's a SpongeBob in here, a couple of Drag Race episodes, and like something called When the Phone Rings. And it's on here because the final episode used the real-life events in Palestine as a plot point. Wait, what?
속보입니다. 8팀화 공습이 이어지고 있는 이즈마일에서 한국인들이 무장 세력에게 납치됐습니다. 이에 정부는 외교부 본부에
But for some reason, there's an episode of The Price is Right with a 2.2 rating, which I'm bringing up because it's one of only 3 episodes in the show's entire run that even has a score. Which means something had to have happened on the 9th of December, 1975 to get people to like flock to IMDb about it almost 20 something years later. But when I looked deeper into it, I found out that 95% of its 1,000 user reviews gave it a 10 and it only has a couple bad scores, and somehow that averages out to a 2.2. Because like I said, IMDb is a super reliable site that I'm really glad I'm basing this entire video off of, which I'm pretty sure makes it one of the highest rated episodes of all time, but I couldn't even find it to see for myself because it's a show that aired like 50 years ago. But I need to know what could have possibly happened in like season 4, episode 70 to get a rating like that. So like if someone's got like a random ass VHS tape from the 70s, hit me up, okay? This is very important. But anyway, finally, we now know that the lowest rated episode in television history is the first episode of the Red Ape family.
I saw another universe too. Creatures called trolls who were trapped in a thing called YouTube, all talking about how shitty we are.
Which was a blockchain exclusive NFT animated series. Remember NFTs?
Non-fungible token?
Non-fuckable toucan.
I didn't even how do I explain this? You guys ever see those like totally not scam websites where you can like pay a company to name a star for you, where all you get in exchange for your real money is like a certificate that like lets you pretend that you now own something? It's kind of like that, except for ugly ass apes that cost like millions of dollars. Anyway, so they made a cartoon to promote, I guess, a specific set of NFTs. And do I have to say anything about how this looks? Like, I'm pretty sure your eyes would have done that for you about 2 minutes ago.
Are you fucking insane? You put the golden NFT up Rocky's ass?
Okay, so you might be wondering what it's actually about. And don't worry, me too. Because like I was more confused during the first episode of this than I was jumping like halfway through Riverdale. The first episode starts with them like crash landing on a planet that is not explained to us at all, doing a heist to steal like a rare NFT. We don't know why he wants that. We don't know why they went to another planet. None of these things are explained in the first episode of the show.
Oh, here we are go. Oh, hey, what?
You know, maybe if I watched any of the other 4 episodes they somehow got made, I would find out, but I'm going to be so real to you right now about how much I'm not going to do that.
It's the year 2130. Earth is dying. Humans fucked up real bad.
Can we put the robot Naruto back on? Now, I want to give them credit, okay? I did check out a little bit of the second episode purely out of curiosity and because I hate myself. And visually, it is a massive improvement. I will give them that. And, you know, I don't want this to come off as me, like, supporting NFTs, but in an age where people are unironically watching, like, AI fruit slop videos, I cannot bring myself to hate something made by an actual human being, even if it is the worst rated thing on IMDb. I just mean the first episode, though, because it looks like it gets a lot worse from there, so...
You have no idea what is happening, do you?
Not the slightest fucking clue.
So, there we go. That is not at all where I thought this was gonna go, but, like, isn't it more about the journey than the destination anyway? Okay, we'll always have that Logan Paul episode. Can I go now?